Number 1 South Dakota State, number 2 North Dakota State. The 116th meeting between these two programs on Saturday. Always a lot of good storylines coming into this ballgame. But to me this year, the best comes at the quarterback position. Cam Miller was recruited by South Dakota State. Talked to Stig this past week. Told me a few years ago at practice, he's up on the roof of the S-Jack. He's retrieving some footballs. If you've ever been to a game at South Dakota State in the north end zone, after a PAT kick, the ball sometimes sails on the roof of the S-Jack. You got to go up there and get him. So Stig's up there after practice. He gets a phone call. It's Cam Miller. He says, "Coach, I appreciate you recruiting me. I'm going to North Dakota State." Stig says, "Okay, look forward to competing against you." And they certainly have. Cam Miller, 0-5 lifetime against the Jackrabbits. Well, the guy who ends up being the quarterback in that Jackrabbit class of 2020, Mark Gronowski, he's 4-0 lifetime playing against Cam Miller. Let's quickly look back at those 4 matchups, and it began in that COVID season in 2021. 2 true freshman quarterbacks going head-to-head. Gronowski gets the best of them. Jacks win that game 27-17. The next matchup, again, about a year and a half later, up in Fargo. And if you remember, the Bison were number 1 in that game. The Jacks were number 2. Cam Miller played well, but not well enough. The Jackrabbits victorious 23-21. In my opinion, that was one of the biggest wins in program history. It showed that team that they could win against anyone. That was a huge win in the Dome. They have a rematch, as we know, a couple months later down in Frisco, Texas. The best ball game I have ever seen Mark Gronowski play in a Jackrabbit jersey. 229 in the year, 3 touchdowns, 2 beautiful balls to Jackson Yonke. Let's not forget his 51-yard touchdown sprint. The Jacks go on to win their first national championship. And then last year, 2023, that game in Brookings, never felt like NDSU had a great chance to win it, and they didn't. 33-16, the final. South Dakota State wins their 5th in a row against the Bison. It all leads to this. Gronowski has the hardware. He's the reigning Walter Payton Award winner. But right now it appears Cam Miller is the favorite to win it this season. So who's the better quarterback? The numbers in 2024 say Cam Miller. History points to Mark Gronowski. We shall see. Very excited to see how that plays out. But this game, as it usually is, will be won in the trenches. The Jacks right now, 245 yards per game on the ground. The Bison only giving up 107 on the ground. So something has to give. There's no way this game is a blowout. That program up north is way too proud. They are starving for a victory. They haven't made any secret about it. They've talked about it in their pressers throughout the week. They want to win this game. They're sick of losing. They will show up. This will be a game into the second half, into the fourth quarter. But that offensive line of South Dakota State will wear them down. They're too good. They're too physical. We thought they might take a step back this season. They lost several marquee names. They really haven't skipped a beat. They've looked fantastic. I believe in that group. I think they wear down the Bison over time. It's a 1-score game in the fourth. But by the time that clock says triple zeros, the final score, South Dakota State 30, NDSU 20. The Jackrabbits win their 6th straight against their rival up north.